Debt. Everyone is in debt. Whether it's cars, houses, student loans, shopping, travel, supporting a family member, or starting a business, most of us end up spending more than what we have at some point in our lives. And we do that by going into debt. Hello my good friends, my name is Ehsan and I'm a personal and business financial advisor. My passion is to teach financial literacy and help people make better financial decisions. With that note, today I want to give you a couple of tips on how to prevent getting into bad debt. That's right, I said bad debt because there is such a thing as good debt and bad debt. Good debt is when you borrow money for something that will increase in value. Good debt tend to come with low to moderate interest rates and will provide you with a return on your money. Examples include mortgages, home equity line of credit, student loans, and small business loans. Bad debt, on the other hand, is used to purchase something that will depreciate in value and often come with high interest rates. Examples include credit cards, payday loans, car loans, and personal loans. You may think getting into debt only happens to lower and middle class families, but I'm here to tell you that I've had so many high income earning clients who've buried themselves under so much debt. They've bought and financed multiple cars, boats, and cottages to the point that if they miss one payment, they would be in trouble. Therefore, getting into debt is not a matter of low income, but a matter of bad spending habits. Now that you know the difference between good debt and bad debt, it's time to go over 3 most common reasons why people end up accumulating a lot of bad debt. Number 1, people spend the money they don't have. This group of people straight up use the money they don't have. They never think about how much money they have in their bank account before making a decision to purchase something. This is most common in 18 years olds who just got their first credit card and think they got some free money, and people with bad shopping habits who don't think about money when they see a good deal. Number 2, people use their paycheck in advance. This group of people think because they have an ongoing income from their work, they can start shopping using their credit cards. To give you a real life example, imagine you know that you're earning $2,000 at the end of the month. Knowing that, you go and buy a little Gucci wallet for $500. Now the end of the month comes and you realize you've had all these other commitments such as mortgage or rent, internet, phone bills, student loans, and other loan payments totaling $1,800. Now, let's do a quick simple math, and we realize that our spending for the month is higher than our earning by negative $300. And that, my friend, is how you end up getting into debt. Number 3, change of life circumstances. This is one of the worst things that could happen to people as they don't see it coming, and it usually happens when you least expect it. The most common types are separation or divorce, loss of a job or getting laid off, and medical expenses. Let's start with another real life example. Let's say you buy a brand new car and finance it for 60 months. You made this decision based on your current financial situations, and at this time, the monthly payment seems to be very reasonable. Now suddenly life happens and either you get laid off or you go through a separation or accident happen and you have a medical emergency. The first thing that usually happens in these situations is that either your income will be reduced or your expenses increase significantly. Now you may ask, Ehsan, what do I need to do to never get into bad debt? I'm glad you asked. I got 2 words for you: budget and saving. I know it's the least sexiest thing to do. You know what's sexy? Shopping, owning new things that makes us feel better. But here, if you don't take my words for it, in my hand I have 2 of the best books you can read about financial literacy: The Wealthy Barber and The Richest Man In Babylon. I highly recommend reading these if you want to get a good foundations about how to manage your money. And both of these books talk about budgeting and savings in details. Just imagine how different your life would be if you had some money saved at the time of financial emergency compared to the time that you had no money left and the only option was to use credit. Therefore, if you never want to get into bad debt, the first thing to do is to start a budget. You have to write down your income and your expenses and figure out how much money you're left with. Once you have that number, start writing your goals. You need to have a short-term and long-term plans, and you can do that by opening a bunch of saving accounts. Saving accounts are free and you can have as many of them as you want. Having a budget will help you to stick to a plan and never spend more than what you earn. Having a saving account is a tool that gives you peace of mind in case of an emergency. And don't forget, at the end of the day, the goal is to spend the money you have accumulated in your saving accounts. Here's a quick example of 3 accounts I have at the moment. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is mental health. We don't talk enough about anxiety and depression, and money is one of the main causes of it. I've personally been there, and I know so many people who are struggling to get out of it. Naturally, debt is something no one wants to talk about, as it's an embarrassing subject. But that's okay. Chances are the person next to you is in a similar situation. So to those people who suffer from anxiety and depression because of financial hardship, I strongly recommend to please talk to someone about your situation, whether it's a financial advisor, your friends, or a family member. I know it looks impossible to be debt-free one day, but with the right plan and the right mindset, you are going to get yourself out of this situation. That's it, guys, for today's video. Years ago, I had a mentor who taught me to add a little note at the end of my follow-up emails to my clients. And that note was something like this: if you were happy with the advice I provided today, the only way to thank me for my services is to refer me to your friends and family. I believe it's still relevant to these videos. So if you found this information useful and know someone might benefit from them, all I'm asking is to please share my videos, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more. See you in the next one.